Hello and welcome back to Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. My name is Stelio and this is the Let's Play park that I'm continuing from 2015. So this is the third episode of that series, of the continuation. So I hope if you haven't seen the other ones that you go watch those, because it'll give just some context to what I'm working on here. But in this video, I have a lot to work on, and sadly, I lost the gameplay for this haunted area. So I built a haunted house, just style themed area. So another theme district of the park, and I thought that this area would be very good to have, because it would be another themed area, but it would also be Halloween oriented. So especially in the holidays and times like that, I think it would be very nice to just have a themed area dedicated specifically for that time. Right now, I'm going through and just replacing some of these paths because I want to continue this tiled sort of midway with the bricks, and I want to continue it out this way. And in this plot by this monorail here, I will be building the last roller coaster in this park. I'm going to be going for a launch style coaster again, and I only have one other launch, but this one's going to be a much more advanced launch style coaster. And the themed area down behind this building is going to be a Metropolis style area, similar to the Justice League areas at Six Flags and parks like that. So at Six Flags New England, they have the Metropolis area, and it features, the Superman the Ride roller coaster, but it also features multiple other attractions as well, and the whole area is built up like Metropolis with, metropolitan style buildings from all different parts of the world, but mostly New York and Los Angeles and some other famous European countries. So I'm going to be going with, that same style of architecture here, but for this coaster, I'm going to be going with an Intamin Impulse or an Intamin Launch coaster. And the reason I did that is because I think we can achieve the fastest speed in the park on a roller coaster like this, and we can make it the tallest roller coaster in the park like this. And I feel like that's something that's a good way to finish the coaster lineup, is set the records, set it straight, and leave it there and leave it untouched. So this way, with a big tall launch coaster, it's a good final point of the park's construction. Next to this coaster right here, there's going to be, of course, those Metropolis style buildings, and I'm going to try to fit in some attractions along the outsides in the areas around here. This coaster is almost an identical layout to Hershey Park's Storm Runner, but it's in some different colors, and actually I recolored it almost exactly how it is in real life. So it's almost the same colorway, and it might be a rip off, but I feel like it just looks so clean and just looks like a really good part. So right now, there's technically usable space in that woods back there, but I think if I just put trees and let nature have it, it'll look a lot better, and it won't look like I'm forcing stuff in. It won't give the park a forced grid. So right here, I'm working with these different styled walls, and this is the part where I was talking about the Metropolis facades that they have at the Six Flags parks, or at Universal where they have New York, and like where the Spider-Man rides are. They have these super, modern city looking facades of all these buildings, and it's really cool. So I think if I put the buildings like here and just have these facades by this fast roller coaster, it would just be the nice themed area. And I don't know what the correlation between the coaster is and the Metropolis, the metropolitan area, because there isn't really too much theming in terms of Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, so it'd kind of just be up to the people. So you might have to do some with cops and robbers, some downtown, whatever. There's a reason that these facades are here, and it's because they make great buildings. They make great, they just look good, they look right, and they can host a bunch of things like restaurants, bathrooms, gift shops, offices, and they can also be facades for the park. But this is one of the last themed areas that I'm going to be fitting in besides the boardwalk theme, which isn't really a theme. It's more just a small boardwalk area by the lake. So that's what I'm going to jump to right now after I place one of these rides down. And that's going to be the launch tower. And the launch tower is going to be on this corner of the midway, right by the launch coaster. So these two rides are going to go great with each other, just having them close by. So I'm using up all the plots here, and this is going to be the last, of course, themed area, like I said, and that's going to be the boardwalk over here. So I've laid out a rough, wooden layout of where I want the boardwalk to go, but I'm going to start working on that and placing the main attraction of the boardwalk soon. A lot of this is just the general stuff that you do when you're playing a Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 park, but you can't forget it, especially in a detailed series. You want to use all the stuff that they give you because they don't give you much, and especially in a 2004 game. I'm going to go with the Dodgems, bumper cars here. And I wanted to try to fit the circus in on the midway, but there's just not going to be enough room, so I'm going to have to go with the circus in the back corner of the city over here. This is just like an odd sort of midway because it's, they kind of just fit it in on the side of the property and said, we don't have enough room for a full-size midway. Let's just see, if we can fit a couple rides on this back road area. And the woods you can see behind this circus really starts to get dense because that's where the park's property ends and goes to, just the next person's property next door. I wanted to try to fit another roller coaster in, but I just don't think it would work. I just think that using the property and using the space that we have to build other stuff and other attractions will make this park look a lot better and a lot more natural. We could have a park like Gronaland, and I don't know what country that park is in, but there are coasters on top of each other in that park, and it just doesn't really look that good. As I'm coming through and densening up the forest, it really starts to look like a New England park, and I really like the themed areas because even though they are themed, they're still the remnants, and it's still not the remnants, but you can still clearly see that we're not in this, sci-fi area, or we're not in a Vikings area. It's just a themed area. So I really like that ability to be able to point out that you're in a themed area, but if you were a kid and you're down low, it's a lot harder to, point that out. So right here is going to be the Frisbee Discus, and I think having this on the water line will look really nice, and it'll look in place because a lot of boardwalk parks have these exact style attractions with the large frisbees, and they're often the largest or one of the largest attractions at the whole park. This is going to be the main boardwalk that stretches out onto the water, and it's not even going to go that far just because there isn't much room, and the lake isn't even that big to begin with, so I don't want to, force the issue or make the boardwalk more than it needs to be. I was just moving the discus out a little because I wanted it to more be on the water, or wanted it to be on the waterfront more, and that way I felt I would be able to fit a ride on the other side of the boardwalk in more snug, and it wouldn't be as forced. You can see now that the lake here and the boardwalk has a direct view of the pirate ship, which is pretty cool because that's the themed area with the pirates and Vikings down in that area. But that's it for this episode, and I want to thank you for watching again, and I hope you watch the next one. But thank you. Have a good one.